Let's start the movie. In a sunny city, there's a mother and daughter who depend on each other for survival. Although the mother is deaf and mute, the daughter, Vera, has never looked down on her mother. She works part-time while attending school to help her mother share the burden. To make communication easier, Vera patiently teaches her mother a skill every night. She's practically a perfect little girl, although the mother and daughter live in poverty. But their life was very happy until one day, the appearance of a devil completely shattered their peace. Upon learning that the woman had a beautiful daughter, the factory manager set his sights on the mother and daughter, intentionally approaching the woman, hoping to win Vera's heart. Clearly, DeHung didn't take the disabled woman seriously. That afternoon, feeling a bit mischievous, DeHung secretly went to Vera's workplace behind the woman's back. Seeing that it was her mother's boss, the not-so-wealthy Vera generously paid the manager's bill, unaware that the manager was already eyeing her. Seeing Vera's slender figure only fueled his lust. So, before Vera left work that night, he drank 3 bottles of soju. To embolden himself, because tonight would be his first crime, instantly causing a sensation throughout South Korea. The scene shifts to Vera, who has just finished overtime and is walking home. She vaguely realizes someone is following her, and her expression involuntarily becomes panicked. However, because there's no one around, although she senses the danger, Vera still gets into trouble. When Vera awoke from her coma, she found herself assaulted by the factory manager, lying disheveled in the grass, shivering uncontrollably. Her anxious mother, worried about Vera's late arrival home, began searching for her. She tried calling her daughter, but received no answer. When the factory manager took Vera's phone and saw it was her mother calling, a horrific plan arose in his mind. The twisted man, DeHung, even attempted to assault Vera's mother. Just then, a scream came from afar. Hearing the scream, DeHung turned and walked towards the man. Realizing her mother was in danger, Vera, ignoring her pain, instinctively picked up a stone and hurled it at the man. Unexpectedly, in her desperate struggle, Vera accidentally killed him. This incident completely changed Vera's life, turning her from a girl preparing for college entrance exams into a murderer. Due to the severe decomposition of the body and the lack of a witness, Vera's claim of assault was ruthlessly dismissed by the police. Ultimately, due to insufficient evidence. Under the court's verdict, the defendant Vera was sentenced to 5 years in prison for hiring someone to commit murder. Upon hearing this sentence, her mother collapsed instantly, rushing frantically to the judge and pleading on the ground for a retrial. No one knew her daughter better than her. Her daughter wouldn't have committed murder if she hadn't been forced into it. The poor mother had so much to say, but because she was deaf and mute, she couldn't speak. No one cared. Vera, the victim, had become a prisoner. The scene shifts, and 18-year-old Vera is now in prison, wearing a blue jersey. Vera is the youngest prisoner. She thought her young age might bring her some care from the other inmates, but on her very first day, Vera was beaten. Fortunately, a kind older woman intervened, firmly restraining the short-haired girl. Vera, still a student, had never experienced anything like this before and was too frightened to utter a sound. Seeing a cut on Vera's lip, the 2 kind women applied some ointment. That first night, Vera lay on her cot, unable to fall asleep, her mind filled with worry for her mother. She feared that in the 5 years she had been gone, her mother had suffered even more. At lunchtime, everyone ate and talked about why they were in prison, but Vera didn't touch her chopsticks at all. Until she heard Yun mention that she could work and earn money in prison, Vera's eyes lit up. Even now, Vera's mind was still filled with thoughts of her mother, wanting to earn more money to help ease her mother's burden. Although the work at the auto repair shop was tough, the thought of helping her mother made Vera feel clean and refreshed. She finally found meaning in her life. That evening, her older sister sat down next to Vera and told her about her son. If he were still alive, he would be about Vera's age. Her son had been killed by a drunk driver. Seeing her dead son, the older sister acted impulsively and burned down the driver's house, accidentally killing her entire family of 5. Now, whenever the older sister closed her eyes, she could picture the dead man strangling her. This guilt was incredibly oppressive. It turns out that everyone has this inner. Everyone has an insurmountable hurdle. Vera's older sister told her to write to her mother occasionally. It would make her feel better. With her sister's encouragement, Vera quickly emerged from her gloom and successfully integrated into the extended family. She not only started doing housework, but also became much more cheerful. Several months later, the opportunity to visit her mother finally arrived. The moment she saw her daughter, tears streamed down her face uncontrollably. Her daughter asked how she had been these past few days. When her mother spoke, Vera was astonished. It turned out that to communicate smoothly with her daughter, her mother had been practicing her voice in front of the mirror for hours every day for the past few months. Upon hearing this, Vera, who had been pretending to be strong, finally couldn't hold back and burst into tears in front of her mother. To avoid worrying her mother, Vera pretended to be doing well, and she had practiced smiling for a long time. But unexpectedly, she couldn't control herself in the end. Not long after her mother left, Vera suddenly felt unwell and lay on the ground, unable to get up. The prison guards had to take Vera to the hospital for treatment. The results of the treatment surprised the guards greatly. Vera was pregnant. At this time, Vera was completely unaware of this, thinking she had just caught a cold. She told everyone not to worry about her until the prison guard told Vera the truth. Vera's world collapsed. She was pregnant with the devil's child. This news was like a sharp blade piercing Vera's heart. Vera couldn't accept this fact. She couldn't let the devil's child come into this world. Devastated, Vera ran frantically towards the prison gate. Like other children, when Vera was most helpless and needed care the most, she always thought of her mother first. No one could understand Vera's pain. In the end, Vera was put in solitary confinement. The next day, a kind older sister came to visit Vera. Every time she saw Vera, it was as if she saw her own child. Only the older sister, as a mother, could understand Vera's pain and know that she desperately needed care at this time. Because abortion is illegal in South Korea, it not only carries a 1-year prison sentence, but also a fine of 2 million won. So this was a bolt from the blue for Vera at this time. In the days that followed, every time it was time for a visit, Vera would refuse to appear in prison for various reasons and then write a letter to her mother saying that she was doing well. She really didn't know how to face her mother, who came to visit her with hope every time. They all left behind sad and dejected figures in the prison. To help Vera recover, the older sister thoughtfully patted her hand and brought her a bag of snacks. Unexpectedly, at that moment, inmates from the next cell came to their door, intending to bully the newcomer Vera. Although the two were extremely unwilling, they dared not provoke the man. The plague woman only glared at them and almost got a beating, being grabbed by the clothes and thrown aside. Just as Vera was about to be bullied, the older sister came over. To protect Vera, the older sister risked her own family's livelihood, treating Vera like her own daughter, proving her kindness and adding a touch of warmth to the marginalized prison. But when Vera decided to have an abortion, the short-haired woman instantly flew into a rage because she had been abandoned by her parents as a child and therefore deeply hated those who abandoned children. That day, a prison guard found Vera and transferred her to a more relaxed job with a higher salary. This way, Vera could not only avoid being beaten, but also take better care of her health. It turned out that all of this was arranged by the warden. He also felt great pity for Vera. When the warden learned of Vera's case, he used his influence to help Vera secure a second trial. This time, Vera seized the opportunity and described the events in detail to the judge. After hearing Vera's pitiful plight and considering that Vera was already pregnant, the judge handed over the final verdict. As time went by, Vera's belly grew bigger and bigger. To welcome the arrival of the new life, her fellow inmates painted flowers all over the walls, adding a lot of warmth to the prison. They also used their leisure time to make beautiful clothes for the unborn child and even prepared toys. Everyone took great care of Vera. Unexpectedly, this cold prison was filled with kindness and warmth, but it could not dispel the gloom deep in Vera's heart. Because whenever she felt the life beating in her belly, Vera felt extremely nauseous and desperate. One day, Vera suddenly felt a sharp pain in her belly. It seemed that her due date had arrived. She had not yet been taken to the hospital. Vera hurriedly took out a bottle of painkillers and, trying to endure the pain, stuffed them all in her mouth at once. Yes, even now, Vera still felt that the child in her belly was a culprit. She couldn't imagine how she would face the child after its birth, how she would face the world. She left behind dozens of farewell letters and slowly collapsed to the ground. The scene shifts to Vera being taken to the delivery room. Seeing Vera's head just emerging, the doctor shouts for her to push, otherwise both of them would be in danger. But no matter how much the doctor shouts, Vera won't cooperate. Helpless, the doctor frantically tries to push Vera's belly out, but it's to no avail. Ultimately, Vera, with her child, leaves this despairing world. Perhaps only in this way can Vera truly find release. Only in this way can she escape the torment of pain. Looking at her daughter's lifeless body, the mother's heart breaks. She simply cannot accept this fact. Her heart-wrenching cries seem to be accusing fate of injustice. But now, all the beautiful times Vera and her mother shared have become an unrecoverable illusion. This ending, like a heavy hammer blow, struck my heart, making me deeply feel helplessness and sorrow. The large amount of painkillers and a farewell letter were her despair and rebellion against this indifferent world. Her departure filled me with immense regret. She had beautiful dreams, but fate cruelly crushed them. The film 2037 showed us the wounded souls in the dark corners of the world,